All right, so let's go ahead and get into the weeds. Street Fighter V. It came out this week that Street Fighter V missed the sales target that Capcom had for it. It wasn't a flop, but at the same time wasn't quite the great success that Capcom was expecting for it. I believe it launched in March or February.
I think it was February.
Okay, February. So their first quarter. Now, Street Fighter V was kind of controversial when it launched. It launched with 16 playable characters, 16 fighters, which is not. It's really not that bad when you think about what we used to get in fighting games. 8 character roster was, pretty standard fare 20 years ago. But with Street Fighter V, they only gave 8 characters, an online mode that didn't work the best, especially at launch, and no very, very small story modes. We're talking each character had about 3 fights. You couldn't adjust the difficulty for, and you can get through each story in about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes for each character. No arcade mode. And then they did include a survival mode. So you've got these really short story modes. You've got you have the online mode, and then you have the survival mode. 3 modes. See, the thing with fighters is there's not much of a story to them. They really only have the gameplay mechanics to rely on to be a good game, and also the aside from the gameplay mechanics, they have modes, different modes to mix things up. If you don't have modes, you kind of have a bit of a lackluster presentation. So people complained about it. Very little content. And the interesting thing was that came to mind, for me at least, was Killer Instinct's launch, the new Killer Instinct on Xbox One. Same deal there. I think they only launched with 8 characters, and they called it Killer Instinct Season 1.
Yeah.
8 characters, each with their stage. They had an arcade mode. They at least had that. Online, and a lot of people were like, well, what is this? What's going on with this content? And why are they calling it Season 1? And then come to find out, oh, okay, well, every year we're going to have Season 2. Now we're on Season 3. And each year they've released about 8 more characters. So the roster slowly grows. They refine the mechanics. They redo, I think that with this Season 3, they redid the lighting, which made everything look a little bit better. So, and all of these, now I don't think it's for free, but at the same time, they didn't charge full retail price for Season 1 when it first came out.
Killer Instinct?
Right.
No. I actually got to play that with a friend of mine. I actually don't play a lot of fighter games, mainly because I'm just bad at them. But it wasn't that bad. I thought it was pretty good. I haven't got a chance to play Street Fighter V either, and just to go ahead and throw that in while I have it pulled up now, it actually did release March 31st, so technically February, but not really.
Just barely in the first quarter.
Yeah.
For Capcom.
I'm so dumb. That would be April 1st.
What? What would be April 1st? The second quarter?
No, March 31st. I said it released on March 31st.
But yeah, since the launch, it's been not very well received. Mixed reviews. Everyone's basically saying the same thing. It's a great game, but there's hardly anything that you can do with it. Now, and of course, Capcom has said, an arcade mode is coming, a story mode, like a more fleshed out story mode that's actually going to tell a story. The story modes that they have right now for the characters seem more like prelude stories, or things that are kind of gearing you up towards the main story with Fong and Shadaloo and all that stuff going on. If you look up the YouTube videos on those. But I kind of feel like, and I kind of thought that the game wouldn't sell very well because of this. So I've kind of been wondering, since Killer Instinct did something similar, and it kind of was panned at first too, but now you having this model, it seems like you give more players more of a reason to come back to the game after a while. It's not like a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 where it gives you a 52 player or 52 character lineup. Once you unlock them, you unlock them. That's it. Doesn't give you a whole lot of replay value in the game, except when you want to pull it out and play it again. So now with this new way that they're doing DLC, and this shocked me. I'm sure it shocked everybody, but they basically announced all of the DLC that's going to come out for Street Fighter V in the future and in the coming months. It's going to be not free, but you can earn it in game with the in-game currency, that's amazing. I think that's a perfect model for DLC, especially for a game like this. Now, if you don't have, enough currency for when like they release Guile, you can go ahead and just buy them for, I don't know what the prices are, but buy them for a few bucks instead of using the in-game currency. So, what do you think about this model of game releases that they've done with Killer Instinct and now with Street Fighter V?
Uh, First off, I really don't think that your story mode should be a DLC. That should kind of come with the game, and that should kind of just be like a duh thing.
I think it's free though. It's just coming later.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I guess it's a little bit better than like comparing it to Destiny, where you had to pay for different expansions, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, you just bought one third of a game, and now you have to wait like 2 years for the rest of the game to come out, and they're even still coming out with more stuff. So I guess with the story mode coming out in June, and it'll be about like 2 to 3 hours, I guess that's pretty okay. That's a little bit of a wait, but I guess for most Street Fighter fans, that'll be worth it. I actually didn't know about that using the in-game currency to buy the different things. I think that's a really good idea, and I think a couple of other companies should go ahead and look at that and take into consideration how that might be a great thing for certain people. Like for Super Smash Brothers, they just had a huge lineup of DLC characters of like 7 or 8.
7.
Yeah, and like I don't know about you, I wasn't excited about spending like $5 to $6 for like 2 people on a map. That, of course, I did it because I'm a big Smash Brothers fan, but still that was a little eh. But then when you also think about it, you earn a whole bunch of coins in that game, and the only thing you can do with them is buy trophies. So I think in the future, if Super Smash Brothers does come out with a new game for the NX, I think that that should be something that they also do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be nice if you could make a way or a reason to play your game and then reward people, and then basically do what I've been calling the mobile game mode. Oh, you don't want to play the game and you want to unlock all of these features right now? Well, heck, go ahead and give us $10, or in some cases, like hundreds of dollars to unlock everything in a free to play game.